Rotorsport Calidus. It's not, as you might think, a helicopter, but an autogyro. As you can see, it has a small pusher-mounted propeller on the back of the fuselage section, and the rotor isn't being turned round by any mechanical means, but purely by way of the airflow through the rotor blades. In fact, for takeoff purposes, the autogyros of the modern era all tend to have a mechanism whereby the rotor is spun up slightly on the ground to improve the short takeoff performance, which is one of the great advantages of the autogyro, as indeed is its manoeuvrability. And it really is an awful lot of fun to fly, and that Peter Troy Davies, who's one of the world's most experienced autogyro pilots and instructors, always demonstrates. And from that cockpit, visibility is excellent. He can see you all the way through this display, and he loves to see you waving back. Peter's been displaying autogyros for 25 years now, and he's flown them at some of the world's largest air shows, not just in the UK, but overseas as well. The autogyro came about as a result first of experiments by a great Spanish aviation pioneer called Juan de la Cierva. That was between the two world wars. Well, in more recent times, the autogyro has been rather further developed. The early ones were decidedly heavy, ungainly, bulky and unmanoeuvrable machines. Well, you certainly couldn't say that about the likes of the Rotorsport Calidus. It's a German design, and this is one of the most popular autogyros currently available on the world market. And all the while, the rotor on the top simply windmilling as a result of the airflow. And it really is a very practical type of flying machine, this. As Peter swings it down the crowd line, yawing all the way as he goes. This is in fact a new Calidus for the 2016 display season, but as you can see, he has retained his sponsorship from Air Total, the fuel company. He's also backed by Sydney Charles Insurance. One very useful characteristic of the autogyro is that it cannot stall. In the event of an engine failure, the machine would simply auto-rotate down to land, remaining easily controllable. And given the fact that the rotor simply works by windmilling, it's a much cheaper and less complex proposition to operate and maintain than a helicopter. But it has many of the helicopter attributes, notably the ability to fly extremely slowly and pretty much hover. Ideal for flying in and out of small clearings and the like. It's a pretty comfortable tourer, the Calidus as well. A design that dates from 2009. It's got a fully heated cabin if required and an adjustable pilot seat. More than 1,000 of these examples have been sold worldwide. Autogyros, once again, becoming a very popular proposition on the general aviation scene. Peter bases his Calidus near Blackpool, and he's able to range far and wide with it. It's a very economical way of flying, and it's also a good proposition to have in your display because in the event of weather that can ground most of the other display acts, the Auto Gyro can keep flying. They can fly in anything up to winds of 40 knots. I'm sure many of you will remember seeing the Wallace Auto Gyro in the film You Only Live Twice. That the creation of the late great Auto Gyro exponent Wing Commander Ken Wallace. Well, Ken's machines, while they were absolutely outstanding, were rather more basic and vestigial in nature than the Calidus, with the pilot generally perched on a somewhat minimal seat right at the front. What a contrast with the comfortable cabin on this particular type of Auto Gyro. Peter Troy Davies, the pilot, has over 3,000 hours now flying Auto Gyros. He's been flying for some 35 years, 22 of which have been spent in Auto Gyros and gyroplanes of one type or another. He also has a great deal of experience flying conventional fixed-wing aircraft and holds several records. Not just in Auto Gyros, but also, as I mentioned, fixed-wing machines, including microlight aircraft. The Calidus has a top speed of about 120 miles an hour. They can get airborne in distances of just 10 meters, depending on wind conditions prevailing. And it really can turn very, very tight indeed. What a splendid display. The Rotax engine on the Calidus, a very well-proven design used on many microlight aircraft amongst others. One of its great advantages is that it can run on ordinary motor fuel. But it doesn't consume too much of it either. 115 horsepower from that engine, and it burns about 12 to 18 litres of fuel per hour. And of course, Peter, as befits his sponsorship, uses fuel from Air Total, specifically a type of avgas, which is a new brand of fuel from that company for the sports and general aviation market.
Oh, lost it.
Slowing down now and coming back in towards us. And positioning in, getting into as near to the hover as he possibly can, and I expect we'll see him dip the nose to take his final bow. Thank you very much to Peter Troy Davies and the Rotorsport Calidus. Terrific stuff as ever from Peter. Doesn't look as though he's quite finished yet either. The final opportunity perhaps to give him away as he passes by. Waving farewell down the display line. Thank you very much, Peter. We'll see you tomorrow.